Hi friends, it's Becky, and I have a little bundle from Bead Box Bargains to open up with y'all today. No, I don't have my April Bargain Bead Box yet. It should be getting here tomorrow, so I can do an opening and unboxing with that. But what I do have is a bundle, the Mushroom Forest bundle. And this bundle is just a bunch of items that they had in the shop, the Bead Box Bargains shop. It's the sister store for Bead Box Bargains, which is the monthly bead subscription box. So in their sister store, they had several items that they decided to curate together to make a little bundle. And so I purchased that actually the same day that I checked out with a bunch of my 99-cent sale items, which I'm not going to be doing a big haul with because it's mostly just spacers and bead caps and findings and things like that. And that could get a little tedious. I mean, there were some barrel beads and that sort of thing. But one thing that I really loved from that, I'm not doing a big haul. I just wanted to show these to you because they are just perfect, are these lotus connectors. They're these glass connector beads. They have a top and bottom hole. It's GLS 1313, and they are just the most perfect pink. I absolutely love these. So I had to get some of those when I saw that they were on sale. And the 99-cent sale was just a sale that they had. They grabbed a bunch of items, put them into a category. Everything in there was 99 cents. And then on top of that, you could still, if you're a subscriber to Bargain Bead Box, you could use your coupon code for the month and get 30% off. So they all ended up being 70 cents instead of 99. So anyway, coming back, there was also a bundle. So like I had put all of the stuff for 99-cent sale in my cart. And sometimes what I do for like my mental health is just put things in a cart and then walk away without, checking out, because, it's not healthy for my bank account to always be purchasing. So then when the bundle came up and I already had stuff in my cart, I was like, well, I gotta check out, right? I had to refresh a few times because things had sold out between when I put them in my cart and when I checked out. But now I have this bundle, and I'm going to be organizing it into the sifting grid organizer, and we'll just go through this. At the end of this, I'm going to be making a pair of earrings, because for the month of April, I'm making a pair of earrings every day, and I'm going to use these beads for that. Once I've got them all sorted and we're taking a look at them, I'll just make a pair of earrings with y'all at the end of this video. And if you'd like to skip past the unboxing and go right to the earrings, I'm going to put a timestamp in the description below so that you can jump past it. And I know that a lot of my friends watch my videos on their televisions on a bigger screen. So if you didn't know, on the timeline along the bottom, when I do put a timestamp into the description for things that you can jump to, it'll put a little dot on the timeline to where you can find that if you wanted to scroll along or fast forward to that. So just a little, when I add little timestamps for jumping ahead, you can do that without going to the description, because I know it's difficult for folks who watch on their televisions to actually get to the description part. So that's all been said. Let's find out what is in this bundle. I really love that they have been putting the bundle items on their own separate packing list, because then I don't have to, scroll through like my whole Bargain Bead Box order packing list for the things that say kit in parentheses anymore. I can just go down this list and it's going to be a lot easier for me. All right, so let's get these guys out. And let's figure out what we are going to be doing with this. Now, this had a lot of reds, silvers, some browns in them, a few greens. Comes off a little bit Christmassy, but not too Christmassy, I think, because they're not like the bright red colors, and it's more like, mushroom forest sort of thing. These Alishan Jade ones, these beads, these are these olive colored beads that were in the key lime pie Bargain Bead Box. So now that we know what these are, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in the in my organizer so we can do that. I made a necklace with these in one of my videos. This one right here, the Alishan Jade. It's a really nice earthy tone, and I'm glad that they included it in this box too. I think that was really cool. So let's get this in one of the organizer sections. These are 8mm in size. There you go. First one down. Alright, and then there were some bead caps. Let's start from the top. It's not the top of the list, but it's pretty close. Where are our bead caps? They were some dotted bead caps. There they are. Now these ones are nickel free. Again, I think we've seen them in another, either a bead box or in a companion bundle. They are quite nice. Alright, and now we've got some crystal faceted rondelles. I believe that's this one. They are 3.5 by 2.5mm, and they are champagne AB. It's Chris 3879. You know what? I did not give you the number for those bead caps. That was cap 1003. So these are really pretty. Sort of an ethereal, definitely a mushroomy kind of a color. Let me get the end off. There we go. I'm going to be sticking this in a little section of my organizer. If you're new to my unboxings, this is how I do it. I show it and then I organize it. Because if I wait till later, it never gets done. And a lot of my friends who watch my channel like to guess where I'm going to be putting things in my organizer. It's like a little game for them, and I love that. Absolutely love that. I've got one left on here. Snip this plastic off of there. Alright, next we've got a 14-inch strand of crystal faceted round beads in peach opal. There we go. That's Chris 3964. These are 4mm. The other one was about 3.5, so they're a little bit smaller. And these guys are a little bit bigger, and this peach opal with an AB finish. Just, I'm going to wiggle this for a minute because we all need more sparkle in our lives, I think. And sparkle just makes me happy. It's entirely possible that I might need to combine these in their sections because roommate situations sometimes happen with these bundles because they tend to sometimes just pack a bunch of beads into it. Which is totally fine with me. That's not a problem that needs fixing, friends. Just addressing that to the folks at Bead Box Bargains. Do not fix that. We are fine with the amount of beads in here. Alright, next we've got some glass teardrop beads in Rosaline. Oh, how pretty are these? I love the Rosaline color. It's one of my favorites. This is 7017 GLS. Or actually it's CZ, so it's check glass, not GLS. So we've got 4 of those. I'm going to stick them right up here in front. And then we've got some pressed glass bellflower beads, almond with Picasso. These are 6 by 8mm, and there are 10 of them in here. The number on this one is 7023. Let's get these guys up here. like that. I'm going to stick these guys right in there. And then we've got some pressed glass filigree teardrop beads, alabaster Picasso with marble scarlet. That's going to be these guys right here. So this red is more of an orangey red. Comes across with that. And I'm going to put these right in here with these drop beads. Like that. Then we've got platinum plated brass and cubic zirconia mushroom charms. Or charm. Oh, there's two of them, so they are charms. And let's just, we've got one upside down and one facing forward. So you can see that you've got a little cubic zirconia action there. These are cute. Maybe these will be my earrings. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Because we've got two of them. I could definitely make earrings with them. And that was Find 4287. Then we've got Mushroom Forest pendants. Is that these guys? No. There we go. Find 4342. They're 26 by 25 millimeters in size and antique silver. The listing said that they are pewter. They're in an antique silver sort of color. It's the back and front. Sticking them right in there. Mushroom, mushroom. After that, we've got our mushroom, or our red jasper rounds. That's these. There's a 15-inch strand of these, and they are 8 millimeters in size. It's Gem 6018 for this, and these are large beads, and we've got a lot of them, so I'm going to be laying down the second section in my organizer so that they have enough room to spread. They need wide open spaces. I like red jasper because it is such a great, like, earthy, red ochre kind of a tone on it. It's not super bright red, but it definitely gives you more color. And you know what? I love having it right next to that Alishan jade because you get that, it's not quite Christmassy red and green going together. They're, what is it, muted tones? Something alternate. They're not super bright, but they are really pretty because they're so complementary to each other. They're so pretty together. Alright, and then a 15-inch strand of Prehnite finely faceted round beads. These are 4 millimeters in size. And usually when I get some of these smaller gemstone beads on the thread, I will leave them on the thread when I put them in my organizer because it's just so much easier than scooping them out when I pull them out of here. But we're going to give them a little wiggle because there's some sparkle because they are very finely faceted. Look at that faceting. And I love Prehnite because it's so like clear, but such a light green when it's clear. And then you've got these little like seaweedy bits. It's the lake water bead to me. I always see this and think of lake water. Is that weird? Maybe. Maybe it is, but I'm just going to curl this up in this section here, and that'll be easier for me to get it out of later when we've got that all sorted. Did I give you the number for this? I don't think I did. It's 6857 for that. All right, then we've got our, already talked about the Alishan Jade. That was 7 inches on that one. Then we've got a 5-petal flower glass bead, green and white ombre AB. That's these guys right here. GLS 1390. Oh, and these are beads that have the hole in the center of the bead. Instead of on the outside, we've got a curvy part and an inner part. These are really fun, especially if you want to do like 2 different strands of wire when you're using them, or turn them into something else, or maybe use them as little bead caps on something. I think these would make great little bead caps on a design, possibly. So I'm going to stick these guys right over here next to those other ones. Don't worry, we'll do some roommate situations with some of these when we get there. Then we've got our mushroom lampwork beads, and this was the reason why, especially when I was like, oh, do I need it? I don't know if I need it. But then I saw these lampwork mushrooms, and I was like, yes, I definitely need this. They are lamp 586. And just look at these perfect mushrooms. Look how perfect and beautiful they are. Maybe these will be my earrings. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. I'm going to stick them right there in front. I love them. I might be moving them over there in a little bit if I need to make more room for some things, but I don't know. All right, then we've got some pressed glass disc rondelles. They are transparent olivine. It's these guys right here. Oof. I get them on here. The number is, what is it? CZ0790. These will be great little spacers for a sem design. They look exactly like the same color as lime jello. I love that. Our little lime jello guys. Where am I going to put you though? Because I still need spaces for my pendant, for my clasps, for my spacers. So spacers go here, and maybe the pendant will go here. My clasps will go there, maybe. All right, I think what we're going to do is roommate situation with my Prehnite. Stick these guys right in here with them, because it's small beads with small beads. They are different enough that I can still see them when I'm looking for what I'm going to be working with. So far, so foresty. And then we've got some check pressed glass long bicone beads with opal with red luster. I'm glad they included these bicone beads, because one of the things that you can do with these bellflowers, I'm just going to show you real quick with probably the wrong color of head pins or anything like that. So you can take something that is a little bit skinnier but kind of long, like these long bicones, which the number for that was 081719, by the way. You put that on a little head pin, stick your little guy on there, and you suddenly have a little mushroom charm. You know, I love that. I'm glad that they included these. I'm going to put these with these, so we can maybe make some of these later. Maybe we'll make them for our earrings. I haven't decided what I'm going to make yet, because I didn't know. I forgot what was in here after I ordered it. It wasn't a mystery. They did show what was in it in the in the listing. There we go. There's some head pins for that. Anyway, they are yellow opal with a red luster. So I'm going to stick them right in there. And I may just make some mushroom charms. Maybe we'll have a bracelet with some mushroom charms dangling it. That might be for another project for another day, because I'm not going to, oh, you know what else you could do? These are really good mushroom caps too. What? Except maybe they would move more. Yeah, no, I don't like that for mushroom caps. The bead caps are not mushroom caps. Alright. Next we've got some pressed glass baby bellflowers. Crystal with pink silver shimmer. They are 1001 CZ for check glass. Once again, Mom, these are not my good scissors. They are my opening things up scissors. No hyperventilating, please. Alright, let's put these guys. Where are you going to go? Do I have somewhere for you? How about up here? Yeah, that works for me. Alright, now we've got our fancy brass. It's not just any brass, it's the fancy brass. It is 36 by 33 millimeter, and it is a red jasper pendant medallion. It's antique silver in color, pendant 2676. Let me flip that over for you. It already comes with a bail on it. It's our back side. Nope, it doesn't like there. You're going to stick there. That's where you're going to go. Alright. Now we're probably going to do spacers, and then we'll put clasps in here. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Or I can find my scoop. Why do I always move my scoops? I'm going to move these guys into here. That way I can put my clasps up there. This is totally different from how I normally organize my boxes. You know what's easier? Picking up the big beads and moving them back here. I can't find my bead scoop. I think I was working with it at my secondary location, scooping up beads for a Kumihimo project that I'm working on. Not one that I'm going to be filming, it's from a project kit, so following somebody else's instructions. But when it's finished, I'll share it with y'all. Alright, and then there is leaf spacer beads. That's what we've got here. There are 20 of them, and they are 8 by 6 millimeters, and antique silver, SPC 1688. I love the detailing on these, and they are the same on both sides. Spacers go there. 10-gram bag of diamond spacer beads in antique silver. They are 4 by 2 millimeters. And that's SPC 1773 for these. And you can see the diamond shape there when I hit the light a different direction. It's kind of cool, actually. I'm sticking them in here with the other spacers. My leaf guys. And then we've got 4 sets of the 20 by 17 millimeter woodland floral toggle clasps in antique silver. These are also nickel free. So out of all the findings, only 2 of them are nickel free. All right. And so here we go. This is the Mushroom Forest bundle from Bead Box Bargains. They just pulled all of these together because they thought that it would make a great little bundle, and I think they were right. So now I get to decide which of these is going to be a pair of earrings. I think I'm going to use these. Possibly. We're going to need some ear wires and possibly some beading wire to go with this. My little ladybug dish is sliding off. Alright. I have some 22 gauge wire here. Just cutting off a couple of these for ear wires. And let me see. Let's pull some things out and see how we feel about them. No, that's not going to work. Maybe. I'm just going to try something real quick. See how I like it. The red on here is very bright, so it's not going to work as well with this. It's not orange enough for this. So I'm gonna stick with some greens. We've also got white rather than cream, but I'm definitely going with these. So let's go. Oh, you know what? Sometimes you get like little fairy rings. I know what we're doing. I know what we are doing. These. Maybe some of these. Yep. Yep, I have decided how I'm going to be doing these. Alright. this is how we're doing it. I'm going to make a little hoop with these guys. And this will be a dangle in the middle of that hoop. That is how I'm doing this. All right. Now, let's make a dangle first using our head pins. These head pins gonna be long enough, probably. Hope you don't mind me taking some time to like work out the design with this. All right, I'm moving these out of sight of the camera so that it doesn't distract it too much while we go in and make some things. That one's shorter than the other one. Let's get one that's the same length. Okay. Alright, now I've already been using my flush cutters. I'm also going to be using some chain nose pliers. Where are my round nose pliers? That's not them. Are they underneath things? Well, I can't find my round nose pliers, but I do have these bail making pliers, which I'm going to be using for ear wires in just a little bit. So let's use that for a loop. And I'm just going with, oh, you know what? Hold on. That hole just disappeared right up the bottom of these. Let me see if this will, yep. Okay. How fun is that? So I guess the hole on this end is larger than the hole up here at the top, so your head pin completely disappears. How fun. That was unexpected, and I was not expecting. Which, you know, is obvious if it's unexpected. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, or still don't know where I put it. Weird. Alright, so I'm going to just take my mushroom, tip this back just a little bit, and wrap this loop around the smallest of my loops on my bail making pliers. I'm going to take this other end of my pliers and just wrap the end around the base of this, if I can actually hold on to it. This is what happens when you're not great with your left hand. I'm not ambidextrous. Alright. I've got a little charm because it's got its little loop right there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I just was moving the that other jaw on this out of the way so that I could get to this part, swing this around for this head pin. Alright, So now that I've got my drops done, I'll take my wire, and I'm going to want a little bit more than the loop that I'm going to be making with it. So that's about 4 inches of wire. And let's form it around something round so that it has a round shape. Like that. And I can always tighten up that shape a little bit after I get things done. Alright, right here on the end, I'm going to bend this so that when I am adding beads, they'll be less likely to drop off. This end is going to wrap around here. I'm going to make a loop and then wrap it down around it afterwards. But for the time being, I'm just going to go in the order that I laid these out in, with a Prehnite round, a peach crystal round, another Prehnite round, right, a leaf bead, and I'm going to want to change the orientation of that. I'm going point first for this one, and when I do the second one, I'll go bottom first so that it is pointing away from the mushroom when I do that. Then a peach round, or should we do Prehnite, peach, Prehnite? I think I should add more. Let me just grab 2 more of these. There we go. So this is the same on both sides of the leaf. That wasn't how I laid it out, but you are always allowed to change your mind when you are making things. Okay. It's going to be about halfway. Then our little mushroom. And then we'll just repeat that on this side again. When I get to the leaf, I'm going to put it on in a different direction than I did on this one so that the point is facing away from my mushroom. Where's the hole? There we go. So I put point first on this one. I'm going to do fat bottom first on that one. Then one of these, one of these, and one of these. All right. Now, just scooch that over there. We're going to bend these together. Try and help them stay round, my little fairy ring. Just going to try wrapping it around that bend. A couple of times. Just that circle. Yep. All right, perfect. Snip off my excess wire here. And I'm going to bend that around. We're going to get a little loop going here with my bill making pliers. second one, I might cut off a little more wire. Alright, so that is one earring, and if you'd like to stick around and watch, I will make the second one in a minute, but first I'm going to make some ear wires super quick with the bail making pliers. I have my 2 lengths of craft wire. They're both flush cut. I'm just holding them side by side. I'm going to turn them around the smallest loop on my bail making pliers until it touches the edge, like that. And then I'm going to wrap them around the second largest loop, but I want those loops that I just made to be facing away from that. When it comes around here to the other side, going to give it a little bit of a bend right there. Then I need to flush cut these. One of the things about doing ear wires like this, after you flush cut it, you will want to use either a burr cap or a little metal file to file the ends so that it's not as rough. We're not going to do that here. We'll spend some time doing that later. But I also will work harden it a little bit. You can use a bench block to work harden. You can pound it with a little hammer. You can use a wire whacker to do it. I like to just give my wire a little bit of a smush in my pliers. And for me, it work hardens it enough that it maintains its ear wire shape even after I've done that. So that's my ear wires for this. I like to make my own so I can control the depth of the curve. I have a wonky right ear that sometimes commercial ear wires will just slide right out of because the depth of my curve bit is a little too shallow on commercial ear wires. Alright, so there we go. We've got this one all done. And I'll go ahead and make that second one with y'all if you want to stick around. But if you are all done with this video, I'll give you just one last look. There we go, Mushroom Forest bundle. But if you're sticking with me, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Let's pull some more of these Prehnite beads off. Get these guys in the way. And grab a couple more of those spacers, and we'll finish these earrings together. There we go. Alright, so yeah, let's pull off a little more wire than I used on the last one because I think I was running out some, so about 5 inches instead of 4. That should do us. And where's my little... This is just to give it a round shape. It's not the exact size because I just want it to have a round shape initially. It's so much easier if you start how you mean. Start how you mean to go on. And I'm going to go ahead and do my little tip like that. Now let's see if we can pick up some beads with just the end of my wire. There we go. These peach AB beads are just beautiful. Alright, pointy end first for this one, and then fat end first for the other. Sometimes I have to tell myself what I'm doing before I do it so that I am making sure I pay attention, which is why I would always talk to myself when I was making my jewelry. That's why when my brother overheard me, he mentioned that I should just do it to a camera. And that's the whole reason I have a YouTube channel, because I just talk to myself. And instead of talking to myself now, I can talk to you. Here's my hole. There it is. Found it. I am such a good hole finder. Okay, bottom first. And my last little group of beads. I feel like this is softly springtimey. I know a lot of times mushrooms might be like conjure up images of autumn in the woods, that sort of thing, but they can and do appear in the springtime too. Let's make the loop over here on this side. Ooh, I should be able to do this with just my fingers. So now I have my second little mushroomy guy all finished. I'll put links in the description to Bead Box Bargains. The actual bundle that I opened up today, it has long since sold out, but some of the items that were in it may still be available if you wanted to check them out. That's why I read the product numbers to y'all and showed them to you so that you can maybe look them up. I know some of these bead caps are still, some of the beads are still available. Maybe not the mushrooms, I don't know. I don't have a running count of what they have in stock or anything like that. But thanks for spending some time with me today, and hopefully I'll have my bargain bead box to share with you tomorrow. Until then, happy beading.